Yo guys, Floopes here. Today I want to do a topic on the PS Vita, because the Vita is a very underrated handheld in my opinion. It's overlooked. A lot of people some people don't know about it. Some people just, they don't think there's any good games on it. And in my opinion, it's a really awesome handheld, something I really love. It's personally one of my favorite handhelds I own. And I just want to, kind of shine some light on it, show off some of the games, different genres of games that are on the Vita that people may not know about. So first of all, this is the Vita. If you don't know what a Vita is, it is the handheld after the PSP. We now have two analog sticks. We have the D-pad. Well, if I can move the camera the right way. They're right here. We have our little D-pad right here, and we have, the circle, or the X, circle, triangle, square. It's kind of hard to do that backwards in my opinion. We have little speakers on the side, PS Vita right here. Headphone jack. The games themselves look like cards. Little SD cards. Like this. This one is resistant. And moving on to actually the games on the system. Resistance, Burning Skies. I don't have the original case, but Resistance on the PS3. And there was also a PSP game, which I don't really know how this one was. But I've played a little bit of Burning Skies, and it seems like a solid Resistance game. So, if you want a shooter, here's Resistance. I mean, Resistance is on the Vita, guys. It's not like, I know there's a lot of talk of it being a like a JRPG only system. It's not. There are other great games. The Sly Cooper games, they were remade on the Vita. They had like the collection. It's on the Vita. The God of War games, on the Vita. Jak and Daxter, on the Vita. They're all on the Vita. Ratchet & Clank is on the Vita, but it's a digital download only, so you'd have to get it from PSN. But still, that's not really that big of a thing. So yeah. Another thing about the Vita that I want to mention real quick is trophy support. If you're a trophy hunter on the PS3 and PS4, the PS Vita has trophy support. All the games have trophy support. So if you like collecting trophies, here's the thing: the games they have trophy support. We do have that. It's a thing for the Vita. So just throwing that out there. But anyway, if you like puzzle games, we have games like Luminous Electronic Symphony, a wonderful game that is a continuation of the Luminous games on Luminous series. Let's see, there's a Luminous game on the PSP, which I have, and it's amazing. There are two on the PS2, which I have not played, but actually do seem like a lot of fun, because I do enjoy the Luminous games that I have played on the PSP, and the one on the Vita right here, and they are amazing. For anyone who don't know, Luminous is a puzzle game where you actually try to match 4 colors, like 4 blocks in a row. I'll show you on the back right here. I don't know if you can see the little blocks. Basically match like 4 silver, like in a square, and you get points. The more you do it, or the longer string of combo you have, the more points you get. And you continue to the next level. Think of it a lot like Tetris in a way, only different. It's a lot of fun though. Next up is something, if you're a Monster Hunter fan, there is actually a Monster Hunter ripoff kind of game. Like a copy. Now, I'm not saying that that's like a great thing or a selling point for the Vita, but Freedom Wars is a game that is a lot like Monster Hunter. It's taken more of an electronic or technological approach. I don't even know if that's a word, but focusing more on technology. And if you like Monster Hunter, give this one a try. It's like that. It's a Monster Hunter copy game. No, I'm not completely okay with copy games, but it is still pretty cool. So I would definitely, if you're a Monster Hunter fan, do consider this. It's not that expensive either. And the Vita, by the way, guys, is only going to cost you about, I think they're still $200 new. That's what I paid for mine at Christmas. I think they do have used ones for about $140, $150. That's not that bad, guys. Next up, if you want something adventure and unique, try Gravity Rush, which was recently remastered on the PS4. It is a wonderful game and full of, you know, just epic moments, a lot of adventure, different side quests you can do. You can go with the main chapters and do the actual story, and then go back into the side quests. You can level up your powers by getting gems. You are their cat, and you have powers to control gravity, so you can float in the air. You can manipulate objects. You actually fight to, you have to fight your way through the city. Like there's these creatures that you have to fight to continue with the story or continue with a side quest, and the game is a really awesome game. Maybe overlooked by some people, definitely should not be though. It's a wonderful action adventure game that deserves a lot more love. And it is on the PS4, like I said. So, if you're not sold on getting a Vita, check out the PS4 version. There's a digital download, and you can get a physical copy from Amazon. Now, if you're a fighting fan, we have games like Dengenki Bunko Fighting Climax, which was also on the PS3, but there's no difference between the PS3 or the Vita version, so it's not really that bad. So definitely, if you're an anime fighting fan of, if you like Dengenki Bunko, if you like games like Nitro Plus Blasters on the PS4, this is also something that compares to that game and is very fun. There's a lot of noticeable characters here, people from like Sword Art Online, characters from Astral World, like Hiroyuki Hime's in there, Shauna from Shakugan no Shauna, I can't remember their name now, but the ones from the Irregular at Magic School, they're in there. The brother and sister, they're there. There's a lot of support characters. People like Haruyuki from Astral World. There's Willahime from Shakugan no Shana. Everyone has a support character. So it's a lot of fun, and something definitely that, don't overlook this game either, but as the Vita as a whole, there are a lot of games out there. And I still have quite a few more to show. Next three are all JRPGs, just showing them off because I think, I want to talk about them, and you guys will recognize a couple of the series. The first one is Disgaea 4, A Promise Revisited. It is Disgaea 4 remade for the Vita, and it works well as a handheld. So, if you ever wanted to play the Disgaea 4 as a handheld, you have the Vita for that. Because, I know that the first Disgaea and Disgaea 2 were made on the PSP as well as the PS2. So definitely, if you love Disgaea, you can play it on the Vita too. There's Disgaea 4 and there's Disgaea 3. I have not been able to find that one yet, but it is there. Another very noticeable series on the Vita is Persona 4 Golden, part of the Persona series that is highly regarded in the JRPG community. Persona is a wonderful series where you actually, your character brings out his persona, his inner feelings take form into this creature that helps him fight. And in this game, in Persona 4 Golden, you actually are going to be solving a murder mystery. You move into town to stay with your, I think your uncle and your niece, and some weird things happen, and you actually end up learning about this thing called the Midnight Channel, where these people are being seen on TV, and you find out that the people on TV are actually destined to die, which is really scary, and really, there's a lot of mystery to it. and that's awesome. This is definitely a murder mystery game, along with the JRPG, because you're trying to solve the murder while you're leveling these personas. You're fusing them together, making new ones. You're learning new combos. You're learning new skills like fire attacks, lightning, defensive abilities, you know, that kind of thing. Definitely, you know, Persona 4 Golden is definitely amazing. It's a you know, it's like take Persona 4 and, you know, add some stuff to it, make it a little bit, I don't really want to say better, but, you know, make it more than what it was. Put it on a handheld. There you go. And there's a new character too. Dungeon Travelers 2, the Royal Library and the Monster Seal. Sorry, I can never remember that name. This is a first-person dungeon crawler that is very, very fun and very it has a lot of humor. There's like there's some fan service in there, you know, female scenes, so to say, but like sexual scenes and whatnot. But it has a lot of humor to it. It has awesome some awesome characters. Melvi. She is a magic user. Alicia, who is the like a warrior type, and there's a lot of other characters too, right here, all those, and you can even change the classes of the characters. Like if you don't want Melvi to be a magic user, you can change her to something else, and I think that's really awesome because it gives you, you know, free roam as to what you want your team to be. So there's another reason for a Vita. This is not on any other system. So if you want to actually try Dungeon Travelers too, you have to have a Vita, and it's definitely worth it. I have 3 more games to show. One of those is another JRPG. I just got this recently. It's a continuation of a Vita game that did get brought over here, did get localized, and this one is actually rumored to get localized too. I don't know yet. We'll find that out. But that is Criminal Girls 2. This game is about these 7 girls where they're going through the redemption program in hell. They are semi-sinners, and you are brought to hell to lead them through these trials. And well, actually these things are called, they're still trials, but in this game, see, the first game it was called Trials. This game is like the first circle, and then there's like the second circle, and then that's as far as I've gotten so far. I've been doing a lot of training, and there's also this system called Punishing, where you have to do things to these girls to get them to relieve of their sins and learn new skills. Like once you motivate or punish them, sorry, motivation is what it's called in the first game, but in this game it's called Punishing. And you there's one where you have to take the brush and you put your finger on the gamepad, and you'll see like this little cloud, and you have to brush it this way or brush it this way to get it to go. And then you learn, you know, depending on how well you did through the mini game, you earn so many points at the end, and then you level that attribute up in for the girl. Like you're on level 1 of this punishment area. On level 2, you get to learn a new skill, and you get to learn it of your choosing in this game. In the first game, it kind of just, it was what it was. You learned whatever was next, which wasn't a bad thing. It worked really well in the first game. The first game is something I highly regard, and I love to death. So, nothing to knock on that one because it's also amazing. But Criminal Girls 2 is awesome, and definitely something not to be overlooked as just another JRPG. And, if you guys do not notice, it is an import game. It is a Japanese import game. And that is another thing about the Vita. It is region-free. All the games are region-free. You know, you can order games from Japan. You can order them from the UK, which is how I got Steins Gate. Steins Gate actually is a US game now. They do have a copy of it. I actually ordered this before that was announced. So, you know, go figure. But it don't really matter because it's the same thing in English too. It's Japanese language with English subtitles. Not, you know, it's not that bad thing for me. I'm okay with that totally. But this game is very amazing. It's a visual novel. with a lot of kick to it. The characters are very lovable. You are a scientist, Okabe Rintaro, and he actually has a second name. For life of me, I can't remember right now. I should have, I should have made a note of that so I could remember to tell you, but I can't right now. This is also an anime, so you guys should definitely check the anime out for Steins Gate. But he is part of the Future Gadget Laboratory, which is made up of him, Daru, his best friend, and Mayuri, who is also his best friend. They are, trying to just make gadgets, like they're scientists, and he accidentally makes a time machine, which then Mikize Kirisu gets involved with, and just all kinds of crazy shit happens in this game. Like, I don't even want to get into it really because I don't want to spoil anything because the game is so worth playing. Now, this game is on the PS3 as well, so if you don't feel like getting a Vita, it's also on there. But Steins Gate is awesome. Now, the last game I want to show is a horror game. So, if you're a horror fan, there's also a horror game on here. There's not a lot of horror games on the system, though, so don't, I will warn you about that. That's the one thing I wish you did have more of, but it's not that big of a deal for me. I mean, I love horror games, but, I definitely, I can play them on other systems. It's not that big of a deal. But Corpse Party Blood Drive, the ending game for the Corpse Party series. Because there's Corpse Party Trilogy, sorry, ding! Corpse Party Book of Shadows, which is a visual novel on the PSP, download only. Corpse Party is also a download only. It's on the PSP, and I think Steam has it. I can't remember that one. But, and then Corpse Party Blood Drive, which is on the Vita. You can do it, you can get a download, or you can get the Ever After edition of Corpse Party Blood Drive, which comes with an art book and soundtracks, which is very worth owning. But Corpse Party Blood Drive, Ayumi goes back to Heavenly Host, which Heavenly Host is a school that was known for cases of molestation, rape, suicide, murder, and it was shut down because all these bad things. The principal actually committed suicide, and it's a bunch of crazy shit. But she goes back there to find out if there's a way to bring her friends back to life, because I'm not going to go into details, it's just a lot of shit, but Corpse Party Blood Drive, if you want a horror game, you have a horror game. It's awesome, it's creepy, there are corpses fucking everywhere. Of course it's called corpse, what the fuck is it? But still. Yeah. Anywho, I'm done talking about that. The Vita, though, guys, definitely don't underestimate this little system, this little handheld right here. It's very awesome. It's very worth owning, in my opinion. Touchscreen on the front, there's touchscreen on the back, and overall, it's just a fun as hell system to have, because there's so many games. These are actually not all the games I own either. I still own, there's still a few back there in my room that I did not bring in here, because I just got mainly what I needed to show you guys. But, anywho, I hope you guys did enjoy this. I've had fun talking about the Vita. It's a very underrated system, and something that, you guys should definitely be thinking about, because it is a fun system. Like, I have had a lot of fun owning this system. There's so many good games on here, games I still need to get. There's games like Child of Light, the Hyperdimension Neptunia series are on this system, all three of them. The first game has actually been remade on the, remade, meaning there's a new battle system to match other games in the series with a free roam thing, not like the turn-based way the first game was on the PS3. There's, like I mentioned, the Sly Cooper, Ratchet and Clank, Jak and Daxter, God of War, Child of Light. There's a physical copy of Child of Light on the Vita. There's games like Denka Rampa. I can't pronounce that. Dinka Rampa. I can't do it. But that's a visual novel game that is highly regarded by a lot of people. And yeah, overall the Vita is just an awesome handheld that should definitely not be overlooked, guys. So anywho, I hope you guys did enjoy. Make sure to comment, like, subscribe, share my video. It does help me out as a small YouTuber. And I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.